Hey losers, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with this thing that I saw last year that people were doing. Now they're doing it again this year. It's the 23 books in 2013 kind of a thing where you pick 23 books that, you want to read over the next year. So last year was 22, obviously. I'm sure this has been going on for years and years. There's probably a 18 and 18 kind of a thing. But, I've chosen here 23 books. 10 of these are already on my favorites of the year thing, my predicted favorites. So I'm not gonna go over the synopsises of those. I'll just tell you what they are. If you wanna watch more about that, I will try to remember to leave a clicker. But yeah, I just recently did that. So first is We've Always Lived in the Castle by Shirley Jackson. Then Little Girls by Ronald Malfi. Those Across the River by Christopher Buehlman. Confessions by Kanae Minato. You've Lost a Lot of Blood by LaRocca. This Little Family by Ines Bayard. Exquisite Corpse by Poppy Z. Brite. Rabid by Bill Wasik and Monica Murphy. A Simple Plan by Scott Smith. And number 10, Girly Drinks by Mallory O'Meara. So those are the 10 that it's I picked these out. I think these are gonna be my fucking favorite, but I was I don't want to make things too hard on myself by picking 20 more fucking books to do. So I've incorporated this into my 23 and 23 thing, doubling up, making things easier on myself, but still doing this thing that I think is going to be fun. So the other 13 books are over here, and I'm gonna tell you about them and tell you the synopsis and all that good shit. First, I've chosen The Man with the Candy by Jack Olsen. Jack Olsen's, I don't know, fairly well-known, older true crime writer. I've got a couple of his books, and this one in particular is about Dean Corll, who murdered young men in Houston in, I don't know, probably the early 70s, I think. I feel nowadays more people know about him, but he definitely, 20 years ago, he wasn't like Bundy or BTK or Night Stalker, somebody who, a serial murderer who's a household name. I think a lot of people, especially, well, not especially, but I don't live in fucking Texas, so it could be very different there, but I didn't know about this dude until, the last 5 years, probably, in the last 5 years. So I'd like to read more about this fucking crazy ass dude. He, his family owned a candy company, so he used that to his advantage. He found boys who like to party, and he manipulated a lot of people, and it's just a really fucking sad story that I don't feel like you hear about a ton. So here it is. I'm gonna read about it. Then I also picked up Cold Moon Over Babylon by Michael McDowell. Most of these, I think all of them maybe, are authors that I haven't read yet. So I'm super excited. These are people I've been meaning to read. Some of them I just want to read, but Michael McDowell is one of those ones that you always hear about. A vintage horror author who is really well known for his Southern Gothic stories, and I think this is exactly that. This is the story of this young woman who is murdered, and it seems like this supernatural entity is trying to take revenge on this killer in some way. So that's what I got from the synopsis. It sounds good. I'm excited to read McDowell finally, and it's just gonna be a good fucking time. Then Dark Places by Thomas Altman. This is about a newlywed woman named Christy, and she has found out recently that her husband has been keeping some secrets from her. That's really all I know about this. And the synopsis talks about two other people, a strange man and a strange woman that she meets, and they have something to do with this shit, but I don't know what, because I haven't read it yet. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna tell you about it. I do fucking love the covers of his books, though. Some of them. I don't know if they're all like this, but it's not, I don't think it's credited who did the artwork in this book. I don't think, but it's a good one. I have read Kathe Koja. I read The Cipher, which was not my favorite book I've ever read, but it was so fucking strange. I just can't wait to read something else that Koja's mind is created. This is about a photographer who becomes obsessed with this young man. He sees drawings that he's done, but this young man is very mentally ill, and the photographer really obsesses over him and wishes that they could share like this man's delusions and things like that. It sounds like everyone just goes mad. And I think that from what I know of Koja's books, having only read one, however, I think that might be like her thing, is like characters' descent into madness, and that's one of my favorite fucking things in the world. And I've really been putting off the books that I have of hers for no reason. So here it is. I'm gonna read Strange Angels, and I think I'm gonna fucking love it. Then I'm picking up The Entity by Frank de Felitta. This is a book I've had for so long, like probably one of the first vintage books I ever picked up with the intention of reading a vintage book, you know what I mean? Like, I've had some that have been old, obviously. Like, I've had a copy of The Exorcist since I was like 10 years old, but it wasn't my intention when I picked that one up to like pick out a vintage book. However, this was totally my intention when I picked up The Entity. It's probably one of the first ones, like I said. So this I know of because of the movie that I watched when I was far too young, and I'm just gonna tell you the synopsis of this is great. Well, it's just kind of like a catchline. It says, a terrifying novel based on a real-life case of a woman preyed upon by a spectral rapist. So, I mean, it's this woman getting raped by a ghost. Seems horrible and also ridiculous all at the same time. I really hope that woman doesn't actually exist. I mean, like, I know there are people who say they fuck ghosts, and good for them, but I hope no one's like non-consensually being fucked by a ghost, because that's terrible. If they think that that's happening. Next on my list is Deathsong by Jack Scaparro. This one I've had for quite some time too, and this is like one of my very favorite covers. It's just so fucking goofy. These disembodied hands coming out of the ocean to play the piano. This is about this family, and it seems like they're being haunted by this thing that happened in the past where this man played the piano beautifully, and the townsfolk were all spooked by it because he never got taught to play the piano. So they cut off his fucking hands and threw him in the ocean. And now these people are somehow connected to this, I think maybe ancestrally, and they're taking a vacation to the city that this happened in, the small town that this happened in, and the family's like young sister slash daughter starts being able to play the piano when she shouldn't be because she never got taught the piano. So, like, I don't know, creepy ghost who really loves music? Who knows? Deathsong. Oh yeah, I wanted to read this part because I think it's so funny. And then one night, Diane's pretty 7-year-old daughter began to play the piano without ever taking a lesson. The music was too beautiful to be anything but a death song. So ridiculous. This is why I love this shit. So silly. I mean, do people write this stuff and think it's really great, or are they just churning it out? I know it's probably a little mixed, but it's like, where does this guy fall on the spectrum? Like, is he just churning shit out for a paycheck, or is he really proud of his work? I don't know. It's so silly. I love these people. It's so ridiculous. Then is one I've been meaning to get to since I got my hands on this. This is The Dogs by Robert Calder. This is another one with a great synopsis, I think. It says, they are an experimental breed of canines, keenly intelligent, of sensory superiority, alertness and stress tolerance exceptional, strongly assertive, capable of massive, vicious aggression. At the age of 15 weeks, one, a male, is missing. And 100 miles away, Alex Bauer has found a puppy. So, like, killer dogs, fucking love it. I've heard that this is not great, but, like, I'm not going into this expecting to love it. I'm just kind of hoping to have a good, silly time with this silly fucking book. Next on my list is Crota by Owl Goingback. I've been meaning to get to his stuff, and I was really excited to finally find a copy of Crota. This is a book about a creature from native folklore, the Crota, and it is killing people. Bodies torn to pieces. Some people think it's a bear, but the detective in this, right? Oh, the sheriff in this knows better. He knows that it's got to be the Crota, so good for him. Then Slither by John Halkin, one of my all-time fucking favorite covers that I have had the privilege of finding. This artwork is just fucking bananas. I love this shit so much. This hyper-realistic, it looks almost like a photograph. Like, how do people paint this shit? It's amazing. How do they do it? Or draw it? I don't know if it's a painting, but this is about these tiny things. They almost look like a mix between salamanders and baby gators, but whatever they are, they're not known to humans, really. Like some sort of strange breed of something that are living in the sewers, and they'll eat ya. That's it. I mean, they'll eat ya. Slithering out of village ponds, swimming pools, even bath pipes. So be careful. I don't know, just be careful, okay? Then, unintentionally, I picked up 2 of Poppy Z. Brite's books for this. This one is Wormwood, and this is one of their short story collections. I can't really tell you much more than that because it's a short story collection, but I think this is one of their earlier works, and I'm so excited to finally try them because they're an author I always think about. I've got, I think, 3 of their books, and it's like, why haven't I picked this up? I don't know why, but I'm gonna pick up 2 of them for this. And hopefully I fucking love them. And then I'll read the 3rd one very quickly. Then, of course, would any list of vintage horror be complete without a Guy and Smith novel? This one is Cannibals, another just absolutely killer cover here, and this is about like inbred mountain cannibals. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's very much it. Like small towns with secrets kind of shit. Sounds so goofy. Love the cover. Okay, 2 left here. This one I've actually had for quite some time too. This is Don't Tell Mommy by Harold Lee Friedman. And this, I mean, okay, you look at the front, you're like, wow, that's beat up. Well, look at this. Look at this. Part of the cover is fucking missing in the back. That's okay. I don't really know what this is about because the synopsis is fucking missing, and I didn't go through the trouble of looking it up because I just don't care that much. But this is something about like bad babies, mommies with long dark secrets, with dark secrets from long ago, I suppose I mean. And that's all I know. Oh my god. I can never tell how well the cover is being picked up in my camera here, but this one is absolutely bananas. It's like this big baby. It looks like a little Cabbage Patch doll hand ripping this mommy's face off, but her skin is very stretchy. So like, that's good for her actually. You want some elasticity in your skin, especially if you're getting older, which this synopsis kind of seems like maybe she's older, like 40, which I guess is, I don't know, they do technically consider that a geriatric pregnancy, which is kind of fucked up, but silly. Anyway, last book here is Necroscope by Brian Lumley. This one is, I just hear about this all the time. It's like dude who talks to the dead, but also he gets wrapped up with these vampires. It seems almost like a kind of a version of, what's the guy, like the Dresden Files, almost like in that same family of things. But I believe that this came out much before Dresden Files did. Not that it matters, but yeah. Oh my gosh, except for the guy's name is Harry in this too. That's Harry Dresden, right? That's so funny. I wonder if that's on purpose. Anyways, yeah, vampires world domination, a dude who's gonna try to stop it. He's the Necroscope, he talks to the dead. That's all I know about this. It's a pretty thick book, but I have the second book too, so I can, if I like this, I could potentially, but I probably won't, but I could potentially just like hop right into the second book. So those are 23 books I'm hopefully reading in 2023. I'm so excited for all of these really, but I'm really excited for the vintage titles I've chosen here. These are ones where it's like, I look at them and I'm like, oh, I want to read that. And then I just fucking don't for some reason. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. My brain is broken. Anyway, that's what I have for you today. I'd love to know if you've read any of these, especially these vintage titles, if you've read any and what you thought about them, whether they're fucking ridiculous or fantastic, like a hidden gem, or just really dumb, like there's such a, well, I mean, that spectrum's in all books, but those are things that I definitely expect in some of these vintage books, especially. Anyways, what am I saying? Thanks for watching. I will see you all later. Goodbye.